Hi everybody, it's Miss Caitlin with Plant the Seed, and today we are at the Ross Early Learning Center to do another round of take-home kit videos. And this time our theme is all about plentiful pollinators. So pollinators are lots of different insects and animals, and even humans can be pollinators too. But some pollinators we're going to learn about in these kits are going to be butterflies and bees. So that's just a few of the different pollinators that we see in our garden and that help pollinate our beautiful world. So let's go ahead and get started with our first activity. And our first activity is going to be planting zinnias. Zinnias are a beautiful type of flower that grow big and they come in lots of different colors and they attract our pollinators. So they'll attract those butterflies, the bees, even wasps are also awesome pollinators as well. So out of our kits, we're going to need our pot, your plastic pot. You're going to need your baggie of soil, and then you're also going to need your zinnia seeds. So I just have mine right here in my hand. And then something that's not in your bag, but you also need is going to be some water so we can give our zinnias a big drink after we're done planting them. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna dump your soil in your pot like I've already done, just like that. And then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pointer finger and you have 5 zinnia seeds in your take-home kit. So we're going to need to make 5 holes in our pot so our zinnias each have a hole to grow in. So I'm gonna go ahead and make 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 holes in my soil, and then I'm going to take my seeds and I'm going to put 1 seed in each of the holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have my zinnia seeds in there, and now I'm going to cover them with the soil. So they're all covered. I'm just going to push it down lightly on top, and then the last thing we're going to make sure we do is give our zinnias a big drink. And so I have my watering can right here, and I water them, and as I'm watering them, I'm also gonna wish them good luck. I say, grow big little seeds, you got this, I believe in you. We're gonna fill them up, and you wanna fill your pot up until water drains out the bottom, because that means you gave it a big drink, and they are getting used to their new home inside of their pot. And now you wanna put this in a sunny windowsill, and you can even put it outside whenever it gets warmer. If you have somewhere outside, you can put it. And you'll just want to check every couple of days to see if it's dry or if it still feels wet. But every 2 to 3 days, yeah, just check to make sure it's still wet in there. And then in about 7 to 10 days, you should see some zinnia sprouts start to happen. Awesome, so that's our first activity. Let's move on to our next. All right, so our next activity is going to be learning about pollinators and how pollination happens. And so what you're going to need out of your bag is you're going to need your 3 pieces of chalk. You're going to need your page with the 3 different flowers on them. I have 3 different pieces with 3 different flowers, or 3 flowers, but yours is just going to be 1 page with 3 different flowers on them. So go ahead and pull that out. And then you're also going to pull out your cotton balls from your bag. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn about what happens when a pollinator, which is going to be our cotton balls in this activity, a pollinator like a bee or a butterfly, what happens to the pollen that they pick up on their bodies or on their legs as they move from flower to flower, and what that looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our pictures, and in the center, in the middle of each of your flowers, you're going to take your chalk and you're going to color it a different color. So each center will have a different color of chalk. So I'm going to go ahead and press down and do that. I'll show you in just 1 second what I just did. So the center of this flower is going to be blue for me. So I'm going to color one blue, and just make sure you really color in the center of your flower. The next center is going to be yellow. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color this yellow. I wonder what colors you have in your kit. So here is the yellow flower, and then I have one more, which is going to be my green. So I'm going to color the center of this flower green. just like that. Oop. Just like that. I know that one's harder to see, but that one is green. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your cotton ball, just one at a time, and you're going to take it and you're going to circle around the center of each flower, just like this. So you can go in whatever order you want, whatever color order you want. I'm going to go my green, and then I'm going to do it to my yellow, just like that. And then, last but not least, I have my blue. So I'm going to go to the center, and I'm going to do it in my blue circle as well. And then, after you visit the centers of each of your differently colored flowers, I want you then to look at your cotton ball. Do you see the different colors on there? I see my yellow, I see my green, and I see my blue. And those different colors of chalk are like the different pollens that a pollinator picks up on its body as it visits different flowers. So you see that if I were a bee, I would have 3 different types of pollen, or 3 pollens from different plants on my body. And so each time I went back to another flower, I would take these pollens and I would rub them on them too. And this is how pollination happens. Whenever our pollinators fly from flower to flower, and they take that pollen and they transfer it to wherever they land. And you'll see even that in the middle of my flower too, you can even see some of the different colors of chalk from the other centers of the flowers starting to rub off in the center there too. And then you can take your next cotton ball and you can go in a different pattern between your flowers. So you can go, maybe you can go like green, yellow, blue. I'm gonna start with my yellow, and then I'm gonna go to my green, and then I'm gonna do my blue last. My blue one flew away from me, so my blue one will be last. And then you can look at the different cotton balls and see how the colors are different and the same. This one has a lot more blue and this one has a lot more green. But this is like the different places, and these are like what different pollinators do whenever they fly around to different flowers and they help pollinate our world. So give it a try, and I want to know what your cotton balls look like after you go to the different flowers that you have in your kit. Alright, so we're on to our next activity, and our next activity is going to be making butterflies out of coffee filters. And so what you're going to need out of your bag, you're going to need your coffee filters, you're going to need your markers, you should have a couple of different colors in your bag, you're going to need your pipe cleaner, and then you're also going to need your pom-pom. And so the first step though, before we get to the pipe cleaner and the pom-pom, is we need to color our coffee filters, because butterflies are beautiful and colorful and we want our coffee filters to look just like that. So I'm going to take my 3 colors that I have. I have a light blue, I have a dark blue, and I have a red, and I am going to make this full of colors. So I'm going to start with my light blue, and I'm going to make some zigzags there at the top. You can make patterns, you can make just colors, you can just color it in, you can put shapes or designs, you can make it however you want it. I just want it to be super colorful, just like our butterflies. So I'm going to go ahead and color this one. Make sure you color both of your coffee filters because you're going to need both to make your butterfly. So I'll be right back after I've colored my coffee filters. Alright, so I have both of my coffee filters colored with different shapes, different patterns. I even just have some colors on there. And the next part is you're going to need some water, which is not in your kit. So if you have some water, go ahead and go get it. And what we're going to do though is we're going to delicately, gently put some water on these, and we're going to watch as the colors come together and make this look more like stained glass or like watercolor. And it's going to look really, really cool. So go ahead and you can use your brown paper bag that your kit came from to put under this, just because it's going to make a little bit of a mess because you have the color from the markers and you have the water all coming together. I'm outside, so I'm going to go ahead and do mine on the ground. But I just have my water here in a watering can. And all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my fingers in and just kind of drip the water down onto my coffee filter. So I'm going to put these down on the ground and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I just have mine on the ground outside, and I'm just gonna take my fingers and just kind of, you can touch your marker colors, or you can just kind of drip the water onto there, but you can see my colors are already starting to come together. And you just wanna do this all over all of your drawings. If you have a little spray bottle, you can also use that, or if you have a watering can like me, you can also just kind of put the water on top of your colors. And so you see how those just came together like that? Doesn't that look so cool? So after you have all of your colors kind of coming together, you're gonna put this aside to dry for a couple of hours and just check on it every now and again and see if it's ready, because you're gonna need these to be dry for what our next step is going to be. So go ahead and put these aside and just wait until they're dry for our next step together, because we're gonna put our butterflies together after these are ready. All right, so I let my coffee filters dry for about 15-20 minutes, and now they're dry and you can see how the colors have all kind of blended together, so it looks a lot like watercolor now. And out of your bag now you're going to need your pipe cleaner, and you're also going to need your pom-poms. And you're also going to need glue, which isn't included in your bag, but you're going to need some glue so you can put your pom-poms on to your butterfly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our coffee filters and we're going to kind of just scrunch them together like this. And then you're going to do this to both of them, because these are going to make the wings of your butterfly. Then this one, I'm just going to crunch it together in the middle. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to stack them on top of one another to make your wings. And then you just want to find the middle, because you're going to put on your antenna next. So then you're going to take your pipe cleaner, which is going to be your antenna, and you're going to wrap it around both of these coffee filters. You just want to make sure that you twist it down securely so both the coffee filters stay together. And then you can take the ends and you can kind of curl them in, make a little loop-de-loo, just like that. This is what mine looks like. And then you can open up the wings. Look at how pretty this is. Wow, look at that. And then the last thing you can do is take your pom-poms and you can glue them on your wings or on your antenna. I'm gonna glue mine on my wings. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my glue, put some on the back of my pom-pom, just like that. My butterfly's running away. And then you can take your pom-pom and just stick it on to your wing, just like that. Sometimes you have to hold it down for a couple of seconds to make sure it's on there good. And then I'm going to take another pom-pom and I'm going to put it at the other top of the wing. Like that. So again, just a little dot of glue, and then I'm going to put it on the other side of my wings. So it looks like this. And so this is your finished butterfly. You can fly it around inside, outside, just wherever you want. I would love to see your butterfly creations. If you want to post it on Facebook or Instagram and tag Plant the Seed, I would love to see how yours turned out.